Thank you for listening to the Dog Trainers Podcast, a podcast created by dog trainers for dog trainers, or anyone who's ever fallen in love with man's best friend.
Well, and there's something, my favorite part about Brent, like I think I said this once in a post on the Dog Trainers Podcast Instagram, is my favorite part about knowing Brent, of all the people, all the family, all the friends, is two people who are, it's rare to find somebody as hardworking and who was also as focused, who also thinks ahead as Brent does. I'd like to think I'm one of those people, and I'd like to think that together we can collaborate, because we have that combination of, I'm currently busy. I've got a bunch of dogs who I'm gonna have to get out as soon as we're done here before I go to this eval. So I can focus on my day-to-day and just grind it out without losing perspective of what's to come in the future. People either play one game or the other, right? So what I've noticed with Brent is when he and I have done content together before the podcast, during the podcast, now we're looking into what's coming alongside it and possibly past it. I don't know. Two people can do way more than one. Like, it's not twice as much work. It's like 17 times as much work. I could have never have gotten this far with the podcast without Brent, and I'm sure it's vice versa. So
yeah,
delegation is key.
Right. Well, and also just collaboration is key. So I would like to get together for sure, and let's just see what we can do.
Yes.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's stuff that people can teach us, stuff that we can teach each other, but just stuff that wouldn't have happened if it was just me or just you or just Brent or just, you know.
And then we're resources for our clients too.
Yep.
Right.
Right. So the whole thing is, I'm not really, I mean, I can do obedience. It's just not like I'm passionate about dogs that are fucked up.
Yeah.
I want them. I want the ones that are going to bite me. That's what I want. I would really like to shift off the obedience and to go strictly, and it's almost there. Like I'm right on that tip. Right. But it would be such a nice resource when someone wants obedience, like, hey,
Just go to Mariano. There you go.
No, I'm just saying that, or you know, with board and trains, for instance, right? You know, sometimes it's not a situation where you can fix what's going on in their home, right? Right, and then maybe a different perspective. Maybe I tag along to an appointment with you, and you get a different. I'll keep my mouth shut, but then after we can talk about something that I might have done.
Dude, come on down.
Right?
We're open here, man. Like I've been trying to run everything, you know, since I've been lucky enough lately to have been busy enough to start hiring people and all that good stuff. I've been thinking very seriously about what sort of boss do I want to be? What sort of business do I want to run? What sort of program do I want to represent? And I've just had it very open door, where like, if you want to come and you know, sit for a lesson or whatever, I'm cool. You can do what you want to do. We're here. You know, it's more just a matter of, I firmly believe that a rising tide raises all ships. And I firmly believe that if I'm giving information, I won't get left behind, because I'm the one mixing it up too. I'm in the gym with you, like, you know, so we're all going to get better. So I'm not really worried about the whole, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know, boundaries and whatnot. And, you know, to me, it's like, whatever, man, if we can help these dogs out, then let's help these dogs out. I'm cool with it.
I'm not in it for, like, I know it sounds messed up. I'm not in it for the human side. I'm in it for the dogs, bro. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's real. I love the humans, right? But like, I'm sorry, these dogs are puzzles with pieces that just need to be aligned, right? It's
put in the right place.
And I know that doesn't sound like the nicest thing in the world, but I'm about, like,
I mean, you're a passionate dog, not just lover, like you're kind of obsessed.
Yeah, so the only way that I beat a drug addiction was by finding a cooler addiction, and my cooler addiction is dogs.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
That's the best addiction. I want to close this podcast off with the same question we've asked every single guest.
Yes.
Okay. So obviously dog training is art.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
This is a common theme from everyone we've interviewed. And so we thought, all right, if you're an artist, and let's say you had colors and pencils and charcoal and all this stuff and a canvas and everything that an artist would use, what tool in your artist toolbox do you feel allows you to be the best dog trainer John Gatta can be?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a heavy one. Take your time.
I think it's my mentality, right? being where I came from, running around the streets of Oakland like a idiot, right? Smoking stuff you don't want to know about, right? It taught me a lot about fear, right? And the thing about fear is that when you realize that nobody can hurt you worse than you hurt yourself, you can do amazing things. And when I bring that into my dog training, so, you know, a lot of trainers will see, oh, aggressive dog, I'm not handling that. I'm not doing that. I literally march into that situation, right? I think it's all the mentality, right? Yeah, tools are wonderful. Prong collars are wonderful. Slip leads are wonderful. Play stay is wonderful, but it's my mind and the ability to troubleshoot and face my fear. It takes a certain kind of person to throw your hand out and let a dog bite you, right? I think it's my mentality and my ability to troubleshoot.
Yep. And how would you describe your mentality in more words?
My mentality is no one is going to outwork me. One, but two, the dog is not going to hurt me, right? Take a finger, whatever. The dog is not going to hurt me. What's going to hurt me is not putting that effort into that dog. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
It's like the passion, you would beat yourself up if you didn't try.
100%.
If you didn't try.
It eats. So
if you would have let fear win.
Yes.
Right. Then that hurts more than a dog bite.
You know, the whole thing is I used to never be able to sleep. Never. Right. Because I had all this stuff. I wasn't clear-minded. I just, there was always something that I did to somebody that was just in the back of my head, eating me alive. And the things that eat me alive today are the dogs that I couldn't help. Right. When I can't sleep, it's like I had to put a dog down 3 weeks ago. Just horrific situation. And I stared into that dog's eyes and I sang to him. Every dog that I have to put down, this is what I sing. I got the best doggy in the world. I got the best fucking doggy in the world. And I just looked them in the eyes right at that last moment. But it's like now I don't have the fear or like going to bed. I don't think about, oh, what if I just would have had the balls to step up right there? That you know what I mean?
Because you did it.
The things that get to me are, should I put the dog down earlier? I know it's hard to say. Right? Like, should I have? Because I feel like I can save them all. So that's the fear, is when it does come down to it, did I make his life more miserable by trying? You get what I'm saying? So like the dog that I had to put down, like this was just recent, so I'm using him as the example, is I should have put him down much earlier, right? And because I didn't, he hurt somebody, right? You know what I'm saying? And that wasn't the dog's fault whatsoever. It's my fault for not recognizing and my ego getting in the way, thinking I could save everything. Right.
That is a tough, you know what? I definitely, I'm sure I speak for both of us, where you're fucking cool, man. Like I wish I'd have known that you were right here that much sooner, but we definitely need to have you back on. And what we're talking about right now, that's something I think that deserves more time, because that's something that a lot of trainers, a lot of rescues, a lot of whatever don't talk about, whether you're for it or against it. You know, it just needs to be talked about, I think, right? Just start airing it out. But that's going to be, I think, a process.
Yes.
Because there's so much feeling around it. Right.
Yes, it is.
But
goosebumps.
It's I just wanted to throw it out there then. So you're coming back to Arizona. I've got a dog coming in. I just met them today, actually. Very overly excitable Pitty is going to be doing some training. I'm going to be doing some e-collar stuff. They have a solid training foundation. I saw and I heard on the phone, and based on what they were telling me, and you know, classic case of the dog knows a lot, but the state of mind isn't there. And you know, I'd be super fascinated to, you know, us get together and just kind of get your opinion and, you know, and see what we can do.
Yeah, totally, man. I'm 100% game. 100% game, dude. Any dog, I'll take any dog that's having a struggle of any kind. I am 100% down. If I can help you this much to get that dog over the finish line, I'll be there in 5 seconds.
Well, sometimes that's all it needs. That's the crazy thing, is like, sometimes you're right there. You know, and I think that's something that more people should know. I think the hard realities of dog training are, there are times, where like it's the conversation is should the dog get put down, and it's not always like aggression. Like we had a hard conversation with one of the rescues I work with because a dog was not only reactive, which is fine, I could work with that, but was also older, and it had a chronic issue with his pancreas. Like there was all kinds of things that were making it like, is anybody going to adopt this dog? I just don't know. And while I'm happy to keep working the dog, it's like, yeah, but we're getting a lot of other dogs now who also need my help. So I totally get the realism does rear its head. I've felt that before. I know the pressure, but so that's definitely something that deserves more time. That's a topic that I just want to kind of earmark for us for the future.
Okay. I do have one point on this, right?
Go ahead.
So the whole thing, and this has been a struggle for me, is how many more dogs can you save, right? But with certain dogs with fear, they may be good for 3 years, but like as a trainer, he's gonna bite again. It's just a matter of time of when, like we're just treading water until that moment. And the reality is that we need to be more honest with ourselves. And the thing is having you as a person that I have in Arizona, dude, if I have that feeling about a dog, I can call you, bro. What's your take on this? And then I have another trainer who's like, bro, I see where your heart's at, but it's going to happen again. Right. Because the problem with me is me and my buddy Mike, we're bleeding hearts. I want to save them all. And it's like when I say, I don't know about this one, Mike, it needs to be discussed. Does that dog need to be put down?
You got to have a network.
And it's hard, right? It's really hard.
It is hard. Well, sometimes you got to remove yourself from the situation. That's why board and trains can be beneficial.
Yes.
And board and trains aside, that's why people ask for advice. Right. And it's funny how like everybody knows, like if I ask for advice, it's the funniest thing. Like Brent and I knew each other during one of the more difficult times in my life. And it was funny that advice that I was asking him for, I already knew the answer. I already knew what he was going to say, and I already knew what I was supposed to do. I just needed to hear it. You know what I mean? And I didn't even do it.
Crazy. Yeah.
Right. And I didn't even listen. I just wanted to hear him say it so that I could not do it, so that I can get mad at myself enough to finally be like, you know what, get the fuck over yourself and actually do it this time. So it is funny how the cycle goes.
I had a similar situation with KD Matthews, right? I was giving Bob my he's a management dog. He's messed up. And I was getting everything he wanted, right? Yes, I was doing the hand feeding. Yes, I was watching the affection, right? But I was still giving him tug of war. I was still giving him fetch, and he was still running the house, right? And Katie told me, dude, bro, you're giving him everything he wants. Of course he's going to be good when you're giving him everything he wants, right? And I changed for 6 months. And yes, he is still a management case. Yes, eventually one day he's going to get me. It's coming, right? But it was KD Matthews who explained to me that sometimes you have to strip it all away, right? And let it come back in small increments when the dog starts to respect you.
Until this mental shift happens. Well, I want to wrap this up, man. Thank you so much. You've been so generous with your time. Thanks. I know we already went over your time, so I really appreciate you, man.
I had fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. Well, please come back again.
Yeah, I'll be back next month, bro.
Yeah, perfect. Well, maybe you'll be here next month. Who knows?
Oh, so he can hang out right here. I've got my other mic too.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, if you guys have been listening to this episode and you guys find that it had value, right? Whether you're a young dog trainer looking for rescue work and some advice, please follow this guy, John Gotta. You can follow him at GottaTrain, GOTTA train. Also check him out, www.gottatrain.com. And also, if you guys found this valuable, please share this with at least one other person. If you guys are a trainer working with a rescue organization, if you're a rescue organization who wants to look for good trainers, please share this with a family member, anybody who has a dog, if you found that this was valuable. We want to appreciate you again, John Gotta. This is episode 50. It's
like an anniversary.
I know it is.
Yeah.
It totally is. This is episode 50 is a big one, but we hope to have you soon back on the podcast, man. And just thank you again for everything.
Yeah. Oh, and then just one more note, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just because you don't have time doesn't mean you don't have to. All right, let me rephrase that. rescues need help, whether it's your time or your money. A little bit can go a long way.
Yeah.
Right. Think of rescues like Repos and Rescues, Incredible Stella, Love Pup Foundation. They're all doing good things for the dog world.
Yeah.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you guys just Google search local rescues in your area, you guys can donate to them, do some research, make sure that they're doing the right job. That's really important. But yeah, definitely. What were the name of those rescues again?
Repos and Rescues, Love Pup Foundation, and Incredible Stella.
Yeah. If you guys want to donate to some already vetted rescues, here you heard it first, Mr. John Gatta. Thank you again, man. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you soon. Again, my name is Brent LaBrada, and that guy over there is Mariano Alvarez. And thank you again to our special guest, John Gatta. We'll see you guys again in episode 51. Peace.
Peace. Thank you for listening to the Dog Trainers Podcast, a podcast created by dog trainers, for dog trainers, or anyone who's ever fallen in love with man's best friend.
We really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we hope to see you back for the next one. But in the meantime, please follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Dog Trainers Podcast. Go ahead and leave a comment. Ask us any questions that you want. We would love to connect with our dog trainer communities all around the world. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.